Good morning, or whatever time of day it is that you're watching, and welcome to the Sky Spirit channel. I hope you're having a good day so far. If you pick a number between 1 and 12, and we'll do today's reading, I'm going to do a little bit of an astrology overview first and a collective reading. Then we go into the collective reading where you choose a number between 1 and 12. Choose more than one number if you like, and I'll go through the cards in a random order and give you the interpretation for your day ahead. If you don't want to watch the whole video and watch me waffle on, you can watch the recording. And if you click on the timestamps that are in the description for each card, it will take you directly to that card. Right, I'm really going to try not to waffle on today because I said that yesterday and then did the longest live that I've ever done. So that didn't work. So straight into it. Okay, so firstly, your astrology overview. It's a day when sparks will fly because you've got several planets in Aries, which is like that super confident, but can be a little bit aggressive and spicy sign. Now, because the Mercury retrograde, got that right, Mercury retrograde is going to sextile Pluto in Aquarius. Now, this is quite an interesting combination. And what it usually means is life-changing discoveries. So finding out some information. So that's interesting from the astrology point of view. The other thing with that arrangement of planets is that the discovery will possibly come from something in the past. So like going through old messages or reviewing previous conversations, but whatever it is, it's sort of marked out as being quite life-changing. So look out for that today. Right, so straight into a 3-card collective reading. Let's have a look. If you do have questions for me, then feel free to stick them in the chat when you've subscribed to the channel. I don't think you can actually use the chat if you're not subscribed. And I'll be happy to answer them at the end of today's reading. You can also email me, naomi@skyspirit.co.uk. Right, so our collective reading is the World, the 10 of Wands, the 8 of Wands. So what I'm seeing here is that on a world level, feels like there's been a lot of burdens. There's been a lot of things going on, obviously, but it feels like there's things that have affected the globe. So there's like the machinations of what's going on today, whether that's politics or opinion or just events that are unraveling. That was a Freudian slip of the tongue. Yeah, unraveling rather than unfolding. Then it's it feels like they're affecting the whole world. But with this card being reversed, the 10 of Wands being reversed, it's like it's in a position where it's being lifted. So it's these problems, these issues that are affecting the planet, there's a resolution really close at hand here. And it feels like there's going to be some obstacles to achieving that, though, which I'm reading from the 8 of Wands, yeah, reversed, and that's indicating a bit of stagnation. So really the card reading overall is highlighting the issues that are affecting us on a planetary level, on a global level, and identifying that, yes, the burdens are heavy at the moment and there's so much going on and it feels very negative, like there's no way out. However, we're being reassured that the end is I was going to say the end is nigh, which I just shouldn't say at all. Sounds terrible. So the end of the problem is approaching. So there is that release. It is a period of rest, a period of relief when things are resolved. So that's a really positive set. But that card reversed, the 8 of Wands reversed, does indicate some stagnation and obstacles. So don't expect it immediately, but we can expect to see those resolutions start to take shape. So is it something that, you know, on a global scale or on a geopolitical scale, is it something that's being discussed right now as a solution to a problem that has the potential to affect the whole world? And you can read into that quite a few different situations that are happening. So I'm going to shuffle the cards now, and I'd like you to pick a number between 1 and 12 or more than one number, 2 numbers, 3 numbers, whatever you feel drawn to. If you focus on the question that you have this morning, when you're choosing a number, you could have a different question for each number. that would help as well while I lay these cards out. One more riffle shuffle, which I still haven't perfected by a long way. I used to just shuffle the cards by just like dropping them and then scooping them all up. But I'm trying to be a bit more organized. Right, so my 12 cards are going out. So keep that question in your mind. And we're going to start bang on number 1 this morning. So we've got the Four of Pentacles reversed if you chose number 1. This is a card that indicates you aren't managing your money very well at the moment, or there are some financial issues which are bothering you at the moment. And it's like, it's that feeling where money is just running through your fingers and it feels like, you know, it comes in one hand, goes out the other hand. But it's getting to be quite a critical stage, so it feels like it needs addressed. So if you've been burying your head in the sand about some financial issues, then this card is really a tap on the shoulder to say, you know, hang on, you need to get this sorted out. You need to nip this problem in the bud before it develops further. So have a look at your finances if you chose number 1, and just see where they can be improved, what can be tightened. Are there, for example, it could be something like, you know, like when you look at your bank account and there's direct debits going out for things that you've forgotten all about and you've been paying like for a subscription to something for like ages and never used it. I did that with the gym for ages. Nearly a year I paid for it and never used it. So things like that, but also on a sort of bigger, larger scale. What about, is there, you know, are the people around you that are draining you financially, or are you stuck in a financial position which isn't doing you much good? If it's not actual money, think in terms of things that material possessions, that material practical security. So it's this sort of, this is where it's indicating the problem, where it's either money, finances, material possessions, things that make you feel materially secure. So what is the issue with those material things around you? And consider how you can make it return to this energy, which is somebody who keeps good hold of their money, is aware of where it is, keeps track of it, that's the words that I'm looking for, and is dynamic in changing different things depending on what commitments come up bill-wise, you know, thinking ahead, that type of thing. Number two, you have the Five of Swords reversed. So it's a bit of a card where it talks about conflict. And it also is indicating that you might be feeling that you're in a position of weakness. So you could have had an issue, a battle with somebody. Doesn't have to be like a fist fight in the street. You can have emotional battles. So it can feel like, you know, you're in conflict with somebody, and it feels like that's getting on top of you. Or you could be feeling like, are you in conflict with yourself? Is there something that you're not sure of, which you're sort of, you know, when you have these internal arguments, should I, shouldn't I, shouldn't I, or what's the best thing to do, or beating yourself up about decisions that you've made. This sort of internal conflict can also manifest when this card comes out in this particular orientation. So what is it that is the sort of the devil on your back? What is it that's sort of grinding on you? Is it another person, or is it an internal dialogue? And this card invites you to tackle that problem, to stop sort of ignoring it, trying to go around it, trying to sweep it under the rug, waiting for it to pass. The card asks you to stand firm and to sort of, you know, do battle or confront this issue, and actually you know, work it through to a conclusion where, you know, if you sort of expose a problem, even to yourself, you acknowledge it, then you can plan how you're going to alleviate the issue, how you're going to get out of it. So that's your card today, number 2. Let me know if it resonates with you. If you've got any questions, then stick them in the chat. Number 12, you've got the Hermit. The Hermit speaks of a need to withdraw from a situation and to isolate. If not physically, then perhaps emotionally, spiritually. So it's like you have to go within to heal. You have to examine your own motives. If you look at the Hermit card, he's actually like a religious guru type, spiritual guru, I'll say, not religious. And he's carrying a lamp. And that's because he reflects like spiritual learning in order to illuminate the way. So he's showing you the path forward, and that path forward is going to come with self-reflection, introspection, and examination of your own motives and where you're going. Because I think sometimes we all get caught up in life and you're like hurtling along just almost like robotically, because you're just doing things as they come up. I think they call it firefighting, it's like one thing after another. And we never sit and think, what do I actually want? Or how do I want this to develop? Or what's going on at the minute in my life that's good? What's going on that's bad? What can I do about it? How can I increase the joy in my life? And how can I get rid of the sorrow? So I think what this card's inviting you to do is to give yourself that space and to acknowledge your inner voice. So, don't discount it. Really trust your gut and acknowledge that inner voice and take some advice from it regarding sort of ways forward, paths forward, and the illumination will come. Number 11, you have justice reversed. So this card can indicate something like an unfair situation or somebody who has a biased opinion about you. It can be sort of false accusations as well, or somebody who's, talking behind your back, like making up stuff, which has never happened and wouldn't happen. And that sort of feeling of injustice when, you hear this kind of thing and think, how did you even make that up? It's so far from the truth. So it's that sort of situation. So is somebody, like sticking the knife in? And that's a bit of a strong phrase to use. But is there somebody around you that out of malice or jealousy or some kind of underhanded motive is talking badly about you, is saying that you've done certain things or that you haven't done certain things, and just sort of casting you in a bad light? This could also mean, so like all the cards, there are various meanings and nuances of meanings. So sometimes it's not that literal. So are you judging yourself unfairly, and are you struggling to find a balance? Because the card, if you look at the card, it has the scales on it, the scales of justice. So it can also indicate either balance or imbalance. So is there something that you're seeing in yourself which is unbalanced? And I don't mean that sort of in any derogatory way. I mean, like, is there something that you're seeing is too much of this and not enough of this? Is it too much work, not enough play, or something along those lines? So those are sort of two quite strong meanings of this card. It can also indicate, just to confuse the matter, because it's the scales of justice, it can also indicate the star sign Libra. Like, I'm a Libra. So this could indicate also a person coming into your life who's a Libra. So that's three things that you've got to look out for today. So three meanings of this card. I find this card quite it's not one of those like black and white cut and dried cards. I mean, none of them are cut and dried black and white, but this one very much so. And so it's worth listening to those interpretations and just looking at your life and seeing if they fit in, and let me know if they do. Number six, you have the Three of Pentacles. So this indicates a learning environment. It can indicate success, your skills being recognized. It's like you're building something, you're putting something together. If we're not talking about learning here, we're talking about if it's a relationship, you're building something good, or you're building up from the floor level, you're carving out a new way to be. So again, the nuance, the different readings, different interpretations. This could be learning a skill as literal as being an electrician, or learning a craft, or it could be learning how to be different emotionally. But there's that element of learning, of the student, of the teacher. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. There's that sort of energy around this card. So what it does do is it indicates that you're also in a good frame of mind to take on board that learning. So if you have been struggling to think of, I don't know, if you're feeling a bit lost in life and, you've considered perhaps taking up something new, then this card would indicate it's a brilliant time to do that. Or, to join a group doing something, or, to get out and dust off that book on painting faces on portrait painting. That's something I really can't do. You know, is it a good time to do that? Because this card would indicate that it is. It's a learning situation. It's time to learn about something, or you're already doing that. This is particularly true if it's like a relationship. This card often indicates that you're really learning something about the other person, learning about how they are and how to proceed. Okay, number three. Number three is the Seven of Pentacles reversed. So this card would indicate that you're feeling like you're not being rewarded for what you've done. You've put a lot of effort into it. And can you hear my dogs barking in the background? Somebody's just knocked on the door. I hope they don't keep knocking. So it's, sorry, back to this. I digress. So it's like you're feeling you're not being rewarded adequately for something, or you've put a lot of energy into something and you're not getting what you want back and what you expect back. The good thing with this card is that it does indicate that that situation will turn on its head because it's still got the same energy. So it's just indicating this obstacle of feeling a little bit frustrated that you're not getting back what you put in, and it could be making you feel a little bit anxious and, you know, to question your self-worth almost. So the advice of the card is, you know, how others have acted here and how they've reacted to what you've done is no reflection on the effort that you've put in or the skill that you've exhibited in getting where you got. Okay. And all you have to do is wait. And that recognition, that worthy recognition, because this isn't sort of pie in the sky, this is something that you deserve the recognition and success, acknowledgement of success from, that will come to you. So just hang on in there because success is literally around the corner. Number 10, you've got the Six of Pentacles reversed. So the Six of Pentacles would indicate reversed. It's like, I call it the card of giving and receiving, because when it's that way up, it's like, you know, you're giving to people in need, or you're receiving if you are in need, and it's sharing and it's being fair. When it's upside down, it indicates that something that's being given to you is being given with strings attached, or it's like it's not as good as it looks. You know that saying, like, I can't remember what the saying is. If it looks too good to be true, it probably isn't. I think that's it. But this is what this card is all about. It's like you're being given something, but at the same time, examine the motives of the person giving you it. Are they giving it to you with an ulterior motive? Are the strings attached to it? Is it the good thing that you think it is? Is it like one of those situations where it's be careful what you wish for? Have you considered the consequences of accepting it? So this card is a real tap on the shoulder to examine closely any gifts, any things that come your way, especially if they're unexpected, and just make sure that they are what you think they are. Number 9. Number 9, you've got the Nine of Wands. So the Nine of Wands is like, this guy is standing and he is like fiercely protective of his views, of what he's doing. And it's like he has a lot of determination in what, you know, and in sticking to his guns, and he's got resilience. So he's looking after his viewpoint, he's looking after his possessions, he's standing his ground about something. So this is you today. It's like you, if you have a look at the picture, he's like, these are his bits and bobs, these are his things behind him, and he's standing there like protecting them. And it doesn't have to be as literal as like protecting your belongings from theft or something. It's like protecting your view, protecting your energy, protecting who you are, standing up for yourself, having the courage of your convictions. So this card for you, number 9, is talking about, are you being strong about something? Are you being strong enough about something? Is this card a nudge to stand up for yourself, or is this an acknowledgement of you standing up for yourself and providing you with a sort of a positive nudge to say, like, well done, no, you're doing really well here. So I'd like you to consider that situation. What is it where you feel that somebody is almost like invading your views, your space, your taking your energy from you. So what is that situation? If you're not standing up for yourself, then it's time to do so. And if you are, then well done for doing so. It's acknowledged, and you can expect this energy to continue while you need it to. So it's one of those cards where it's a really strong energy, and it won't pass quickly. It's standing its ground. So this will remain with you until the situation is abated. I mean, you could address the situation if it is a particular person. But I think what's indicated on here is that perhaps your best policy, or one of the policies that you ensure you maintain, is this standing your ground, is this being resilient, is demanding respect where respect is due, not allowing somebody to walk over you. Right, number four, you've got the 10 of Swords. So the 10 of Swords can indicate that you've been going through a really dark time, and you could be feeling, like you're really rattled, or you could literally be feeling like you've been stabbed in the back here, because the illustration is this guy lying down and he's being stabbed. It's actually in his front, but it's like sticking the knife in. But it's it does mean that even though it's acknowledging that you are having a hard time at the moment, that you're suffering from a lot of stress, anxiety about a particular situation, this 10 is the end of a cycle. So it's indicating that this has reached a culmination. It has passed its worst point. So it's like the storm has broken, and now you've got to the top of that mountain of whatever that issue is, and you're starting to slide down the other side. So it's like the breaking point has been passed now, or is passing like immediately. So you can, take the foot off the gas a little bit. You'll be able to relax in the coming days. You'll be able to see things more clearly. You can start to heal from whatever situation this is. So it's a card that brings that element of, encouragement, and it promises the healing that comes after the event. So just hold on tight there and get this out the way, and then let's hope it's more plain sailing for you moving forward. Number five, you've got the 6 of Wands reversed. So the 6 of Wands can be reversed. It's saying you feel like you've been in battle, but it's like you don't feel like you won the battle. You feel like somebody has been, irking you. Somebody has been causing a problem, and it's starting to stress you out. Like, you're starting to feel that they've got the better of you, perhaps, or that a situation is getting the better of you. It feels like you've put a lot of energy into it, with it being Wands. You've like rode into battle, whether that battle is, a real conflict, or whether it's a challenging situation. And now it feels like you're losing the determination. You feel a bit battered by it all, almost ready to give up, not quite, because the energy is still there. Remember, with a reversal of a card, we've still got the original positive energy. It's just blocked. So your job today, number 5, is to work on returning from victim to victorious. So how do we get your energy back? How do you put yourself back on the path that you started initially when it comes to this issue? Now, only you can answer that question. And I certainly can't answer it with one card. I can just point you in the direction to sort of look at, is this an area of your life that needs addressed? So how would you regain your strength? How would perhaps you could write down pros and cons of something, or, meet with friends who you trust and sound out various solutions and see what the feedback is. Perhaps you can do some research. Perhaps you can just sit and do some planning and some thinking, and, identifying what do you want out of the situation, and what is the best way to get it, and how to practice not reacting to situations rather than reacting. So take that time out to think about what you want to say, rather than sort of just galloping into battle. So let me know if that resonates for you. Very interesting card, that. Right, number 8. You'd think I'd know the positions of the cards by now, wouldn't you? Right, the 8 of Swords reversed. The 8 of Swords is about breaking. 8 of Swords reversed is about breaking free from a situation that has confined, constricted, constrained, kept you trapped, so that there's something that you felt tied to, that you felt chained to, something that's been holding you back, something that's not allowing you to go where you want to go and do what you want to do. That is off ski. Okay, so this is you breaking free of those chains. Okay, ripping off the blindfold that this unfortunate lady wears here. Ripping it off, you can see clearly, you can see the way forward now, you know what you have to do. It's time to walk out of that prison. And it could be a prison of your own making. So is it a thought pattern that's got you stuck somewhere rather than something more literal? It's time to break free of that, and the energy is with you to do that, to break free of that situation and move forward to better times. My dogs are still barking in the background. Honestly, once they start, they find it difficult to shut up. A bit like me, really. Right. Number 7 is the Queen of Cups reversed. So the Queen of Cups reversed, talking about, are you in touch with your emotions or not? Are you repressing something? Are you struggling to express yourself? Are you in a situation where it feels like you can't say how you feel, or it feels like you're not being honest with yourself, or you're not being honest with somebody else about your feelings? Because it's cups. Remember, these are emotions, these are feelings. So what is it that's being hidden beneath the surface that you're not expressing? Now, alternatively, another alternative meaning, this is with court cards. They can either be you, somebody else, or a situation. So you've got like 3 different interpretations. So if this is you, are you being emotionally repressed? Okay, so is there something you need to let out? If this is somebody else, can it be somebody who is like that, or can it be somebody who's saying one thing, thinking or doing another? So a little bit of dishonesty going on there. Is it somebody who's not telling you the full story? So watch out for that person. If it is a situation, it's more likely to be a like an argument or something where emotions come to a head in a negative way. So it could be a little bit of a heads up to watch out for a bit of friction, and to, if you know when these things are likely to happen, you can sort of head them off at the pass. So just 3 things to look out for. You might resonate immediately with, yes, that's me, that is my energy today, or it might take a little bit of thinking about it, it might come out later, but that's your energy for the next 24 hours or so. Right, well, that's all the cards done. Thank you for being with me this morning. No questions this morning from anybody, but you can send me a question, Naomi at skyspirit.co.uk, and I'll answer it tomorrow. I'll be back on at 10:30 in the morning. I'll see you then, and stay weird.